Oh my, look at all this cheese, and presented so beautifully. But do you really know the differences between them, or how to serve a nice variety at a dinner party the way they do in France? Well, fret no more. Here to speak to us today from La Fromagerie is Maître Fromager, Monsieur Pascal Duvivier, to solve the mystery. Monsieur Duvivier, where did you learn your trade and how has it evolved through the years?
Well, hello. I learned thanks to a very good friend who one day asked for help. I didn't know a thing about cheese, but I learned through working, and I learned a lot, and I'm still learning new things every day. I'm 50 years old now, and I'm still learning.
One made with cow's milk, one made with sheep's milk, and one made with goat's milk in order to have a 3-milk variety. All these are individual goat varieties, and you also have some tome varieties which are denser in consistency. And softer type cheeses? This one is of the washed rind type, which is also a softer type of cheese, and goat cheese. And all these are individual goat cheeses. And you have this kind, which is a tome, made with raw or unpasteurized milk. Milk is not heated. Important point. What's the difference between pasteurized and not? Well, raw milk is more natural. There is just lactic fermentation to heat the milk, and the press stage, which enables the milk to curdle. Whoops. Yep. Cheese is different because we work with a lot of small French farms that make their own cheese. They age their cheese with the milk they produce from their farm, and often we finish the process by bringing them to maturity if they're not aged enough. This makes us different from the large food companies and distributors without naming any. Well, meaning big supermarkets. So does that mean that the milk from these places does not come from the local farms? Not all the time. Do they get their milk supply outside of France? Yes, they get from countries where it's a lot less expensive, neighboring countries, that is. So it is not what you explained to me a little while ago. All this cheese with the seal AOP, it's a European seal indicating Appellation Origine Protégée, and it's made locally with milk from that farm. French people love cheese so much because it's part of our heritage. It's in our culture, like bread, like wine, or gastronomy. It's really our heritage. There's so many cheeses in France. Oh yes, there are at least 46 appellations, as you can see by the label here. Okay, Appellation Origine Protégée. Before it was contrôlé, now it's protégé. Would you say there are about 300 or 400 varieties? Oh yes, easily. You could eat a different cheese every day of the year. Do you have extraordinary cheeses? Extraordinary cheeses. Okay, well, here are the hard cooked curd cheese section. All these are hard cheeses except for Emmental. After that, these are the other hard varieties, Comté, Gruyère, Beaufort, one of the best cheeses in the world. After that, there are the non-heat pressed cheeses, which we call Cantal. They're ripened in barrels in underground cellars with natural heat, no forced heat. That's why we call them pressed and not heated, contrarily to Comté, which are heated at a certain specific degree. And here is what we call flour-flavored cheeses. This is a brie de meaux, which we take and we transform. This one has a filling with truffles, crème fraîche, and mascarpone. This is a brie de meaux, which we ripen ourselves. See here? There's no white part, only soft texture throughout. It's really delicious, and it's ready to eat now. Brie de Melun, a bit saltier with slightly bitter flavor, very good as well. All these are Epitaxial cheeses. And this is a fourcheru. Its name comes from the fact that the cheese is decorated with the fronds of fern. Fourcheru is matured in a humid cheese cellar. It's very much like Coulommiers, which is very close to Seine-et-Marne, which is familiar to me since that's where I'm from.
Après, vous avez tous les fromages de vache, Saint-Marcelin, Saint-Félicien, c'est le fromage qui est très crémeux pour les crus. Le reblochon, reblochon fermier. Alors, on reconnaît un reblochon.
Here's a reblochon fermier, which can be recognized by this little green stamp. The farmer stamps each reblochon, the same principle for Saint-Nectaire. Then you have everything which is considered croûte lavée or smear ripened cheeses, in which during or after ripening the cheese rind is treated. Like Époisse and Chablis, which is aged with white wine, and Burgundy, that is aged with Burgundy pomace. You have the same with the trou du cru, or raw hole. Okay, in French it's close to what it is in English. The Lande is the same type, a bit denser. This is the same and is matured here by us. See how soft it is? It arrives a bit chalky and tough, and it's a cheese that is best eaten with a creamier texture. Here's a specialty from Périgord. It is not a rinsed rind, but brushed with walnut liqueur. It is from Périgord, but it has been copied by the Bretons. It's called Little Manor. I'm not making fun of them, since I'm kind of a Breton myself. After that, you have all the Corsican cheeses that are essentially made from sheep's milk. And here are all the goat cheeses with their regional varieties. Cheese from Bourgogne and Tarn, and of course, Chavignol, all crottin, real crottin. Now, is there a season for Chavignol? There is a season for all three milk cheese. In winter, you get a leaner milk because they don't necessarily eat the same things as in other seasons. In summer, they eat a greener grass and flowers that give a richer milk of better quality, and cheese made with it can be aged, just like Comté. They can age 18 to 24 months. You even have a Christmas Comté that is aged 3 years till December, which is why it is called a Christmas Comté.
C'est des laits que vous pouvez faire vieillir, comme les comtés. Les comtés, c'est ce qu'on appelle les pâtes jaunes. C'est tout ce qu'on peut affiner 18 mois, 24 mois. Vous avez même un comté de Noël qui est affiné 3 ans, qui arrive à maturité au mois de décembre. C'est pour ça qu'on appelle le comté de Noël.
All these are sheep's milk cheese, often pasteurized for longer storage, although there are a few raw milk varieties. Tom Corse is a raw milk type. This cheese is thermized. The difference between pasteurized and thermized is that thermized is heated at 60 degrees. Pasteurized milk is heated at 72 degrees. They're not raw milk cheeses per se, but with aging they become very good cheeses. Tom Napoleon. Oh yeah, Napoleon. There's a story related to Napoleon and the Valençay pyramid-shaped cheese. The shape is a possible reference to Napoleon's Egyptian campaign. The tops were subsequently lopped off later on, as he couldn't stand to have the cheese shape bring on the painful memory of his defeat. Here we are in what we call the parsleyed section. everything sprinkled in parsley green are blue cheeses. So, all blue cheese contain a bacteria? No, not all of them. If you take a Roquefort, for example, it is injected with penicillin, which is called rock fortified. It's produced with dry bread extract, heated to enhance the growth process. Do you think there is a shift in tastes lately with all the natural, untreated, and organic popularity lately? Well, people want to eat more traditional cheese now. However, there is quite a demand for organic cheese. But there are so few companies that have chosen to have organic cheese because it is so very costly. And also they need to have a completely different installation and production methods. The end result is a much more expensive cheese due to these particular stipulations. Okay, but in your opinion, do you feel that artisanal cheese is as good as organic cheese? Oh yes, certainly. As far as my personal taste goes, for sure, yes.